And the last thing I wanted to show you today were a couple of features that we're going to work towards as a district through part of our RTI process. Um, but they're very powerful pieces of this program. They're really the two different aspects of what this program can do. One is the data walls. We think that that has the ability to save people time in some decision making. Um, the other half of the program really deals with individual student needs and how you can track individual student needs, how you can identify interventions for individual students. And so this happens to be in a demo account. It has a number of students who have intervention plans going on, and you can jump right to students in plans and who's in an active intervention. We could also go through and look at a single student. If you start typing a name in, it will populate the students with those same letters in their name, and then you would actually click on the one that you're choosing. This is something that you'll see for each person under observations. Observations is where a teacher could make some observations, phone calls you've made home, things you've tried, and you can take note of them there. So it's just an ongoing note taking place for you. You can also mark this observation as private. Only the person who creates an observation, and if they mark it private, only they would see this. This will just kind of keep a running tab of all the observations that go on. So as a teacher, you could begin recording some information if you have a few concerns and you just wanted to start noting them or making marks of them. You could begin to do that. In the notes area, this is similar to observations, but the notes are where SIT meeting notes are going to start being stored per student, so we can get a running total of conversations, concerns, ideas for this student, whatever happens to be going on, part of SIT, and then any student who has access to the student would be able to see the SIT notes, unless of course they were marked private by the administrator, and then only the administrator that logs into that would be able to see those particular notes. Another feature here is tasks, and tasks are if we're in a SIT meeting and we identify that something needs to be done, you can assign it to somebody, you can put a date on it, and you can have it emailed directly as an appointment to a Google Calendar, and then that person would receive that as an appointment, and they could put it on their calendar of something they need to accomplish. And then you can also attach documents, any type of a document type, if you want to use that for support or whatever happens to come up with that student. If you want to identify it with that student, that will work out quite well. Going back to the dashboard, if we were to look at an intervention, just briefly, these are students that have a plan. We could click in and see what kind of plan they have. So these are students who are not in an intervention, in a formal intervention, but they have some type of need that we want to start measuring. And so you can create this plan. It's kind of a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. You can identify what kind of level it happens to be at. As we get to tier 2 and tier 3, we would have a more formal intervention. It might require a little bit different documentation, and you can see there are other pieces that you can have, notes and tasks. These are specific to this plan, or if you happen to be in an intervention, which has a somewhat similar screen, those are within that plan or intervention. If at the student level, those would be global observations. When you end this plan, everything will stay there, but it will end with that plan. So all those notes that are taken as part of the plan or intervention would be marked there. And you could set goals here then and track some scores if you're doing some progress monitoring. And these are all the pieces that we'll be working out with the RTI teams in the buildings, and starting to learn a little bit more about this on a slow growth basis here. Interventions looks somewhat similar. It has a lot of the same features, so we're not going to go really into those. Just wanted to make sure you were aware that capability is there, and so when you start to see things populating on a dashboard, there may be students who are starting to work through this with some RTI members in your building, and you'll be able to see what that looks like and start to play with it a little bit. But hopefully you see that there's quite a bit of power in this ION program. It is something that we're learning more and more about. It does take a long time to get it set up and running smoothly. So please continue to send questions, suggestions to Chad Evanson, and Luke Pinion will soon be able to answer many of your questions as well. And we look forward to working with this program and providing you some information that may make your life a little bit easier. Thank you for your time, and have a great rest of your day.